to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is my little corner of YouTube where I like to share my crafty life, maybe textile crafty life. My main hobby is knitting, so it will be a lot of knitting. I also do some weaving on my loom and I sew quite a lot of my own wardrobe, or I strive to a me-made wardrobe. So yeah, this is episode 2 in my new beginning here on YouTube, and I just want to send a huge thank you to all of you that left so many incredible and beautiful comments on my latest video here on YouTube and on Instagram, welcoming me back here. And there have been so many new subscribers to the channel. I think we grew like over 300 people here in 2 weeks, which is crazy bananas to me. That all of you want to follow my journey here. It just warms my heart and makes this even more fun to continue. So yeah, thank you so much for all the lovely comments. So episode 2 here today. If I am looking down, it's because I have my notes in my lap. Just because I'm how do you say, I have a hard time keeping myself on a path of just knowing what I'm supposed to talk about. So yeah, as I said, you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram, and I don't do show notes on this channel. That's just too much work to put down, and if this is gonna be possible for me, I just need to make this as simple as possible. So if you have any questions about pattern or yarn or needle size, please check my Ravelry page out, because I try to upload every pattern and every project I'm making is on Ravelry, so please just check me out there. Let's just dive in here today. What I'm wearing, I am wearing a Cumulus top, tee, blouse, I don't know, but it's the t-shirt version or the blouse version of the Cumulus by Petite Knit. I have knitted this one in Sandnes Sunday, which is a non-superwash merino yarn, and I have used the black color for this one. So this one is knitted on quite thin needles, and it creates a very flowy and beautiful fabric. I really like the I-cord edges. I made mine with 3/4 sleeves, and yeah, I really like it. It's a good base layer actually to wear. And with that I am wearing, let me just stand up a bit. This is just a plain gathered skirt with some pockets, and this is made out of a cotton gingham fabric, actually the same fabric I used for my dress last time. So yeah, I really love gingham and I really like black and white, so this fits me perfectly. And this skirt is actually drafted from a pattern from this book, which is a high recommendation if you like sewing, a me-made wardrobe, and just making things out of a little bit less fabric, and yeah, using what you have. So this is a book by Birgitta Helmersson. I think she's based in Malmö, so not so long from me. And I have based this one out of this skirt pattern here. So it's a really good pattern. You only need, like, if your fabric is 145 centimeters in width, you only need about a meter of a fabric piece to make this skirt, so it's amazing. I really like it. I have sewn 2 of this same skirt, but in different colors. I have one in a pure like plain linen fabric too, and I use them a lot and I really like them. So highly recommend that book. So that's what I'm wearing. It's actually perfect for the weather today. We have about 17 degrees and a little bit cloudy, a little bit sunny, on and off. So for right now, this is perfect. So that's what I'm wearing. So let's dive into finished objects. I was actually planning to record this episode this Friday, but other things got in the way. So I am recording today. It's Sunday, and that meant that I had the chance to finish something knitting wise for this episode. And so this is not blocked. I finished this last night. So I have still the blocking to do for this one, but my cat bells is finished and I love it so much. I think it's beautiful. I love these jewel tone colors. I love the marled, very pale gray color for the body. And yeah, this is so beautiful. And this is a pattern by MrsWallgren from her book Cumbria. So it's actually the sweater on the cover. And last time I explained a little bit about some changes I've done to this pattern. One of the things is that I am knitting my sweaters top down instead of bottom up, so that's what I've done. And I have made some short rows in the back before I started the pattern, and I have also done a couple of rows of short rows in the back right before I start the ribbing. I almost always do that on my sweaters because they have a tendency to like pull up in the back, and I hate that. I really don't like it. I don't know what it is about my body, but every sweater does that. So I really like this, like, yeah, that you have a little bit more fabric in the back. And I think I done, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 turns on every side. So you just get a little bit more fabric in the back. And I have just done some Italian bind off and cast on. That's also not in the pattern, but that's just my preferred method of doing it. So, oh, I really like it, and I can't wait to give this one a bath. I have steam blocked the color work and tried it on before I did the body, but it's gonna be amazing to wet this down and yeah, be able to wear it when the weather cools down a bit. So that one is done, and I'm really happy about it. And I know I showed you last time that I keep all my projects in like little baskets and everything that stands all over the house. But for my MrsWallgren yarn, I always carry them in this plastic box. It's not that aesthetically beautiful, but I'm really careful. But this is a pricey yarn, and I like having it separate from all my other yarns. So for this sweater, I actually bought a couple of colors for like the color work that I had less quantities of left from my primrose, and I bought the base color. But I have still so much yarn left in almost all the colors. So I am gonna save this, and whenever I feel like doing MrsWallgren products again, I have this, so I can just stack up with some extra balls of what I need. So that's amazing, and I really love this yarn. I love all the colors, almost all the colors. I talked about this last time, but yeah, just check my last episode out. But it has this amazing marl, and I'm not that colorful otherwise, but this yarn is just amazing. So I really love that. Something else that I've almost finished, so this is a kind of finished object, is this vest that I showed you last time. This is finished for almost everything. I need to buy some buttons for this one, and I need to buy some larger buttons than I had at home, so I can place them here and make this ready. But this is the Bilbo vest. This is a pattern by Lorna that have the podcast here on YouTube, and you can find her on Instagram as Thread and Yarns. Really love her channel, really love everything she do. And this is her vest pattern, and this one I have sewn in a home woven fabric. So this fabric I have woven on my loom, and I have felted it quite hard to make this felted wool fabric, and I have lined the vest with a pure like raw linen yarn, raw linen fabric that is actually I found in my stash, because this has been an old skirt actually that I had gotten some stains on it and that I couldn't wash away, so I have just saved the skirt for being able to use the bits that wasn't stained. So this fitted perfectly, and I used that for the lining, and I used it for these little button loops, and yeah, I really love it. I'm so happy about this one. It's so amazing to use the fabric I have woven. It feels good to have used what I have had at home for the fabric on the inside, and now I just need 4 a little bit bigger buttons to be able to close it and wear it, and I love this so much. I can really highly recommend the pattern. For this version of the pattern, you should cut like the back piece in one whole piece. My fabric wasn't wide enough for that one, so I did split it and sewed 2 pieces together in the back, and I don't mind that at all actually. So yeah, my Bilbo vest is almost done, and I will show it and share it more with me wearing it when I have found the perfect buttons for it. So yeah, I'm really happy about it, and it will become more Bilbo vest for me, because vest patterns is probably my favorite things to wear. I mean, over this one, over a colorwork sweater, over a shirt, or just a long sleeved dress for winter. Yeah, really like it. So, talking about home woven fabric, another thing that is finished from last time is that I have woven another fabric that I have felted. So this one is also woven on my loom. I have woven this one and that one on this. This is the 3010, and this is woven in Campus 2-ply yarn, so it's the same weight as Järbo 2-ply, it's the same weight as Ullcentrum, so it's a pure wool, quite rustic yarn. And I have woven this fabric with this plaid. So this is quite a long piece. It was so much longer before I felted it, but yeah, I really like it. And I have felted this quite hard in the machine, but it's thinner than my other ones, because I saw a clip on YouTube where they were preparing like a vadmal. So you stamp the fabric and they stretched the fabric out in this like yeah, they stretched the fabric out really much. So I did that when this was still wet. I pulled and pulled and stretched it, and actually rolled the fabric up on a foam roller and let it dry there slowly, and then I have ironed it quite hard. So it's not see-through, but it's a lot thinner than the other one. And this will also become a Bilbo vest. And this one I have to do a little bit more about thinking about matching the pattern. So I hope I have enough to make that vest again. I think I have, but that's the downside about weaving a pattern. You need to match the seams up quite good. But yeah, I really like it. And I think this too will be beautiful over like a one-colored dress or something for fall. This is grey and this one is a dark brown yarn. So that one is finished, and I have been so enjoying weaving since I finished my Bilbo vest. That really gave me the spark to keep on weaving and making more fabrics to be able to sew other things. So I did work my loom last Sunday, and I decided to weave a thinner fabric and not felted quite as much, just a little bit, to be able to weave a thin flowy fabric, maybe to make a skirt or something. So I used this one. This is 50-10 instead of 30-10. So I used this one instead, and I warped my loom with this yarn. This is Wallgren, so this is a very fine fingering weight yarn. It's 235 meters on 50 grams, so a very light fingering. And this one feels very similar to Ravelry, but it's very much thinner. So I warped my loom with a grey one, and this one I used for the weft. And this one, it didn't work at all. The weft kept snapping off like for every pull I took, and I just realized I can't keep weaving on this one. So I just cut off the loom and realized that I have to find some other fabric, some other yarn for the warp. The weft was like no problems at all, but just for the warp I needed to have something that was a bit stronger, because that would drive me crazy to weave so many meters of a fabric and the warp just snapping off and it got uneven. And yeah, but I saved the little piece that I have woven before I cut it off the loom. I am sorry for me not being able to pronounce things right today, but as I said last time, English is not my main language, so bear with me please. But I think this would be such a lovely fabric. This is so thin and so flowy and so beautiful, but as you can see on some places you have a little bit of unevenness, like here, and some other places where I have had to tie the warp thread together again and to like pull this how do you say this in English? We say vävsked in Swedish, but to pull this over the knots all the time, it was just a nightmare. So, and crossing should be enjoyable and fun, and this wasn't. So yeah, I will save all this yarn that I bought. When I find a better warping thread, I will use this again. And I have actually, I asked on Instagram if anyone knew a yarn that could be good for like using in the warp that was stronger but still very thin, and a lot of you suggested Holst Super Soft. So I have actually ordered myself a cone of that will arrive tomorrow, so then I can warp my loom again and try with that one, because it feels like that might be a little bit stronger. This is quite loosely spun, and if I hold it like this, it's like very strong, but if you have a longer piece and pull in it, it's very bouncy and very flowy, and it just snaps off very easily. So for a weft like yeah, the weft. It will be perfect, but not for the warp. But yeah, I really love the flowiness and how thin this is. And when it's this thin, you can actually, I can see myself like just washing it a little bit and being able to lay some pleats or something and make myself a skirt. That would be amazing. So this will be my next weaving project, to warp my loom with the hulls super soft and weave myself a very thin and flowy fabric to be able to make myself a skirt for this winter. So yeah, this is so thin and beautiful and smells so good. But yeah, I saved this to be able to show you, and I really like the marled effect. But yeah, everything doesn't always work out and becomes perfect right away, and with weaving I am so new on this. I just try to do what I see on Instagram and YouTube. So yeah, you have to be prepared for it to be mistakes, and this didn't work out, but I am positive that I will figure out some way to warp my loom with a thin yarn so I can weave a thin fabric in the future. So yeah, that was all my finished and almost kind of finished. I have made the fabric, but this is still not the finished product, but I finished my sweater and I'm really happy with the things that I have done these 2 weeks. I have 2 ongoing projects. I won't show you my Hilja dress that I showed you last time. I can pop a picture up somewhere in the screen right now. But I have worked a little bit on that one when I have watched some football with the kids and everything. But I'm on the skirt part, so that will just keep on growing. So maybe I will show it next time. But for now, it pretty much looks the same. And my other ongoing project is my... oh my god, what is this snake called? Adenia yoke. This is a pattern by Ella Gordon. And I talked about this last time because I have tweaked the pattern a little bit. I started with the color work working up, then I took my provisional cast on off and started to knit downward instead. So that is what I have done since the last time. I have picked up my stitches here. I have divided for the raglan and I am just working my way down on the body now for a couple of more centimeters before I'm gonna split for the sleeves and the body. And I love this one so much. I will actually try this on tonight. I will pop it on some longer cords because for me like the body feels like it's a good size, but I might need some more stitches for the sleeves. So I will try this on tonight and see if I might do some increases just for the sleeve, because I want this to be quite fitted. So I don't want the body to be very like this one. I don't want it to be this deep and this much fabric in the body and then tight sleeves. I want it to be quite fitted all the way. So I will do that. And for the color work here, I have just used some different finger weight yarns. I have used some of the Rauma Lamul garn. I have used some MrsWallgren. I have used some white. The white one is, yeah, I think some Jameson & Smith. And for the base color, I am using this color from Jameson & Smith. Is the number 2 gray brown. So yeah, this color for the base. And now I just have some plain stockinette stitch and raglan increases to do before I split for the body. So I have this one and I have my Hilja dress that is both just plain stockinette right now. So maybe not my favorite to knit, but I really wanted both of these projects. I am so happy with both of them, so I will just keep on going, and when I have split for the body on this one, maybe I can get something else on, and with some color work or texture or anything, just have something a little bit more challenging and fun for, yeah, when the time is right for that. But yeah, this is my Adenia joke by Ella Gordon. So that's my plans for the near future, is to just keep on working on this one, keep on knitting on my Hilje dress, and when I have the cone of super soft tomorrow, I will work my loom and try to weave myself a bit of a thinner fabric. And I don't know when I will have the time to sew this vest up, but when I find the time for some sewing, this is my next sewing project to do. So another Bilbo vest for me. And yeah, that's about it. I haven't bought anything since last time except for like the cone that is coming in the post tomorrow, and 2 pieces of fabric. I bought this one. More gingham, yeah. And this one is the same fabric as I'm wearing and as I did my dress in last time. But this one is in a green and a light gray. And I will just do myself another simple dress like I wore the last time. Just because I really love that one and use it a lot. So a new basic dress with some 3/4 sleeves to wear like under vests and stuff like that for fall and winter. So I bought myself 2.5 meters of this green and light gray one, and I also bought 2.5 meters of this a little bit more sturdy but still quite thin cotton fabric in brown. So I don't know if I will use it for a pair of pants and a simple like t-shirt top, or if I'm gonna do another dress in this color with some buttons in the front. Haven't decided yet, because I think for a pair of pants maybe I would like to have a linen fabric actually that's a little bit more sturdy and robust. So if I can find the right color of brown for a linen fabric that's a little bit thicker, maybe that would be better for a pair of pants. So maybe this would be a dress too, and I think this one will be so beautiful together with this vest with this dark brown and gray and this brown dress underneath. So yeah, that's about it for me today. It's been 2 weeks since my last episode, and I hope to see you back here in a couple of weeks. So that's what I'm aiming for right now, is every 2 weeks, so I don't bunch up and have super long episodes. Yeah. And I just want to mention that next Saturday I am going to Karlshamn, which is a city nearby me. It's only 20 minutes away, because Lina Odell has a book release with some embroidered mittens, and it's in the Karlshamn Museum next Saturday, so you can see like the original mittens from very long ago and her new patterns for it and the book, and I'm very much looking forward to that. And it's fun when something like that is happening in our small part of Sweden, so I really want to go and support that. So if you are nearby Blekinge next Saturday, it's the book release on Karlshamns Museum. I don't remember the time right now, but I have posted on it on Instagram, and you can find it on Lena's Instagram too, which is a beautiful account if you like this more like folk costumes and a me-made wardrobe and beautiful things. You should really look her account up. So yeah, that's all for me today. I am wishing you all a beautiful couple of weeks and a lot of knitting until we